Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Welcome, welcome. It is our Tuesday at 10 two or three coffees. Tuesday at 10 coffee and card class. Weekly card class session 1. I do 2 sessions. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Jana Edwards. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I teach live classes twice a week to show you how to use your Stampin' Up! Product or introduce you to Stampin' Up! Products. I love to show you new creative ways to use what you already have in your stash and show you the new things that are coming out and how to use them. I also offer the projects that we create during our classes. I do 2 classes a week, Tuesday at 10, Thursday at 3. I go live both of those times on YouTube and Facebook, and we create 2 projects each class. And I offer those 4 projects as a weekly class kit with purchase. So if you place a $50 order in my online store, I will send you the kit for the week for free as a thank you for your order. So if you like the cards that we create today, come back on Thursday. We'll create another 2 additional cards. If you place a $50 order in my online store by Sunday, I will send you the kits to create the cards that we create for the week. If you have any questions, if that's not clear, let me know. I'll be happy to answer your questions. If you are here joining me from either Facebook or YouTube, please leave a comment, like the video. The more comments, the more engagement that I get on my videos, the algorithm pushes them so that more people can see them. If you're a new subscriber, welcome and thank you for subscribing. If you have not already subscribed, please click the subscribe button below or follow my Facebook page. I would love to have you as a Facebook page member and a subscriber on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Couple of things. There are a couple of announcements. Stampin' Up! Has got some stuff coming really soon. November the 25th, I had to remember because we just got the notices this morning. November 25th through December the 1st, they're going to be having, I think they're calling it their Black Friday sale, and some select products are going to be on sale 40% off. So if you have a wish list, or if you have someone that you want to give your wish list to, they can always contact me and I'll be happy to give them a gift certificate for you to purchase items that you want. That's one thing, but be sure to save your wish list between November 25th and December the 1st. You can get some of the items 40% off, which is great. They're also, Stampin' Up! Will also be offering a Cyber Monday sale for Paper Pumpkin. You can get 3-month, 6-month, and 1-year subscriptions at a discount. Let me grab that information because I printed it out this morning. Let's see. Okay, so starting December the 1st at 8 a.m., they're offering savings on prepaid Paper Pumpkin subscriptions. You can't, as far as I understand, you can't order it, you can't add it to an existing subscription. So I think you might have to cancel your current subscription and then sign up for the prepaid months. But for 3 months, it's regularly $81 and they're offering it $61. So you get there's a savings there. 6 months is usually $162. You'll pay $122, and a 1-year subscription is regular $324, and you'll get it for $244. So, and then they'll just send the kits, the Paper Pumpkin kits, to you every month like normal. Okay. I think that's it for announcements, except for I'm going to turn my camera down so you can see I opened registration. We're doing a quick turnaround registration for a Traditions of Christmas creative kit. It's a kit that I created where you create You'll get everything you need to create 4 projects plus a bonus Fun Folds gift card holder. 5, 6. So it's 6 total projects. I have them here. I'm going to turn my camera down so that you can see them. And I'll show you the items that you get in the kit, okay? So let me get down to my work surface. Let me put that right there. All right. So yesterday I posted to my stories that you can register now for my Traditions of Christmas Creative Kit. The kit is going to include 3 yards of the shiny red ribbon, and that's plenty for you to create even more projects because I used minimal ribbon. You'll receive a package of the Druzy adhesive back dots. You're going to receive all of your card bases and envelopes to create the projects, card bases, envelopes, die cuts, embossing. All of that will be done for you. And you'll also receive 6 sheets, 6 12 by 12 double-sided sheets of the Traditions of Christmas paper. So there's these are the A sides with the pattern. So you'll receive all of these sheets here, and then let me turn this over, and then it's these patterns on the back. And the die cuts from the Christmas Greenery stamp set, or the bundle, actually I didn't do a whole lot of stamping. I designed it so that you could die cut from the paper. So you don't need the stamp set, but you will need the dies, because we're going to use quite a few. You use quite a few of the dies, but the dies will cut out a lot of the images in the designer series paper. So there's minimal stamping. The only stamping that we're doing that you use is the greetings from the traditional labels, and I will already cut out. You'll already have your labels cut out for you in your kits, so you can use whatever sentiments you already have in your stash. You know, if you already have Christmas sentiments that you like, the labels will already be pre-cut for you. And then, like I said, the die cuts, you'll have to die cut some of the floral images and the leaf images from the die set. So really, if you already have sentiments that you would like to use, I will send the die cut labels for you. So really the only dies that you need are from the Traditions of Christmas, or not Traditions of Christmas, the Christmas Greenery stamp set. But these are the projects that we'll be creating. There's one, this card here, this one. They're very simple. Like, these images are all cut out from the designer series paper. These are cut out. You'll get half a sheet of the gold paper as well. And then these are cut from the Christmas Greenery dies. But these are actually cut, these pieces are cut from the designer series paper. So there's no stamping except for your sentiments. All right, and this is the Fun Fold gift card holder. Gift card just fits in this little pocket right there. So if you're interested in that, you can message me and I'll send you a link to the registration, or you can also add it to the description of the video so you can have it. I had a ton of scraps of paper left over from creating the kit. So I'm using up all my scraps. We're going to use up all of our scraps today. Not all of them, but some of them. So we're going to use some of our scraps. I want to show you the embossing folder. I'm going to zoom in. Let me put this here in the middle. So I was having trouble this morning. Let me put my bubble back up here so you can see me. I was having a little trouble this morning. For some reason, the studio software that I used was it was down. I couldn't get into my Canva account. I couldn't get into anything. So I was kind of afraid I wasn't going to be able to go live this morning. So I went ahead, while I was waiting for them to fix whatever issue they were having, I went ahead and I created this card here. It's a little cute fun fold. So this one's done, but the second one the second project we'll do this morning, I want you to be able to see how I do the embossing folder. We'll cut some paper, you know, just chit chat while we're doing the project. So if you're here, please, hang on just a second, guys. Sorry. Please comment and let me know that you're here so we can chit chat back and forth. Okay. I would enjoy that. Also, let me tell you, Stampin' Up! They just released a pre-order for demonstrators. Demonstrators get to order all of our stuff early. So the January to April mini catalog will release in January. It's live for demonstrators right now, and we can pre-order right now. And there are also new online exclusives coming for January, and I'm so excited about those. I'm going to place an order today, and hopefully I'll have it in by the end of the week, and I can share some of those things with you. I'll have some more. I'm going to plan in December. I'm going to start doing more creative kits, more class to go kits so that you guys can purchase the kits. I'll try to schedule some craft alongs. I've got a lot of exciting new things scheduled for the beginning of the year. And I'm going to be more present in my Stampin' Up! Business in 2026. So I hope you guys I'm looking forward to it. I hope y'all are looking forward to it as well. I love crafting. It's my happy place. How about you guys? So, hang on just one second. I am going to hold on. What did I just do? Okay. Sorry. I was trying to Okay, there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. See, I have all these scraps left. With the Traditions of Christmas kit, you'll get 6 full 12 by 12 sheets. You'll get 6 full 12 by 12 sheets of cardstock, and I had cut for demonstration purposes. I had cut half of those down into 6 by 6 sheets, and I had all of this left from just a quarter of a pack of paper. So when you get the kit, the Christmas of Traditions creative kit, you will have plenty of cardstock left to make other extra cards too. You'll just have to provide your own card bases. So let's get started. We're going to create this cute card right here, and then the other one we'll put together start to finish. Okay, so this card, like I said, I created it this morning on the fly, and I also had I went ahead and I die cut a bunch of pieces out of the designer series paper as I was designing the Christmas of Traditions creative kit. So I die cut a bunch of the pieces out, and I just stuck them in a bowl. And so I'm using my pieces that I have left over for these cards this week too. There were some pieces that hung over the edge of the paper, and I just took my die and layered it up and cut out the pieces that I could. And you can very easily tuck this behind a tag to cover up that mark, or to cover up that cut line. So I am loving this project kit. All right, I'm going to remove my face so you can have full view of my desktop. So we're starting with an 11 by 4 1/4 card base, and I'm going to fold that in half and grab my bone folder, and all I have is my ugly one here. I'm going to grab this. Then I want to grab my paper trimmer. I'm going to set my pieces aside. I'm going to grab my paper trimmer, and I am going to Since I folded my card over, this is my front, it opens this way. So I want to turn it and I want to cut this right, what's going to be the right edge. I'm going to line it up with my 1-inch mark on this side of my cutter. I'm going to take my blade and I'm going to line it up with that 5.5-inch mark, and I'm just going to cut that 1 inch. Okay, then what I want to do is I want to take the strip of designer series paper, and it is, let me grab my measurements over here. I cut this down at 3/8, is it? 7/8 by 5 3/8. And I'm going to glue it to this flap that we just cut. I'm going to use my liquid glue in case I need to move it around. It gives me that, you have a little bit of wiggle room, is what I'm trying to say, when you use your liquid adhesive. And I don't want to get this all over my fingers, so I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool and just pick that up. And then we're going to layer it right here on this little flap. Hold on. My mom is trying to call me, so let me just tell her I'm live right now. Sorry. Okay, bye. Sorry. She hung up and called me right back, so I wasn't sure what she needed. Okay, so we're going to fold this down. And then I'm going to grab this piece of designer series paper and we're going to layer it on the next flap here. I'm going to use some glue. And we're going to glue this down to the front flap here. Okay, now I have a piece of this polka dot, and like I said, these are scraps that I had left over from creating my kit. I'm going to use this scrap and we're going to layer it right here in the middle. I love that this designer series paper is the star of the show. Then I cut out 2 labels. I cut out a label in Secret Sea and then another label in thick white or basic white cardstock, whichever you have. I used the traditional labels dies. I used which ones did I use? I used this one here and then the next biggest one in the center. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my ink pads, which are over here. There's my red. Okay. So we're going to grab our red, real red ink. And the stamp I used is still over here. Everything is still all over the place. I'm going to grab my piercing mat because the photopolymer stamp sets don't have the cushion behind them that the red rubber stamps have. And you need to have a little, to me, you get a crisper image if you have that little bit of cushion underneath your stamp. So I'm going to tap just to ink up my stamp, not squish like you're squishing a bug, just tap it. And I'm going to stamp right there, like so. I'm going to let that dry. I need to cut a piece of white cardstock for the inside of our card. I forgot what that was measuring. Let me see. It's going to be 3 1/8 by 5 3/8. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that right over here to the side. And I don't think that is not long enough. Okay. So we're going to go 5 3/8 by, let's see what this one is. Hold on. Well, that's 3 1/8. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm going to cut this little end off here, and then we'll have our piece. These dies, these label dies, they have these, the edge is cut. They have this really pretty decorative edge here that it pulls up. So when you're pulling them out, just a tip, when you're pulling them out of the dies, make sure that you, it has this very fine, thin piece around the edge. So when you're pulling them out of your dies, just make sure that you don't tear them. I almost did that this morning. Okay, I'm going to grab some glue and we're going to adhere this white cardstock to the inside so you can have your sentiment piece. Is anybody sending out Christmas cards? Do you still send out Christmas cards? I think with all of these that I've been creating lately, I'm going to send my customers a Christmas card and put a little special something in there, and then I'll also send out an email to my email subscribers with a little coupon that you can use for the holidays. So if you're not on my email newsletter list, please sign up. There's a link in the description of the video. And go ahead and add some glue to the back of this label. We're going to center that right in the middle there. Then I'm going to grab my dimensionals. I am ready for Thanksgiving. I'm also ready to put my tree up. I think we were going to try to put it up this past weekend, but I think we might put our Christmas tree up this weekend, which would be really early for us because I usually don't get it put up until the week before Christmas. All right, we're just layering that right in the center, and then I'm going to dig through my little box of die cuts and grab a flower. And I'm going to add a dimensional to this flower, and I think I'm just going to layer it right there. So I'm going to grab a little baby dimensional. And I'm going to add just two, just like that. Take those backs off. And place it right there. And there you have a cute, simple card. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold, please. I'm going to add a strip to the bottom of the inside. So I'm going to cut this down to, I think I'm going to, nope, I want this paper here. I want just a strip of this one. Is that what I did? I did that on the inside. So I'm going to cut a 3/4 inch piece. I'll line it up here at the bottom, cut my 3/4 inches, and then we're going to cut it down to 3 and I always forget, 3 1/8. Just like so. And then we'll have these scraps left over. Add some designer paper. It is really hot here in Texas right now, so it's hard, every year it's hard to get into the holiday spirit because our weather is always so yuck. There we have it. Cute little card. Okay, so there's that one. Now I want to show you how to use the embossing folder. It's called the Traditional Wreath 3D embossing folder, and I used it on 2 of the projects that I created. So let me show you. We used it on 2 of the projects that I created for the creative kit, but you can see the embossed image right here. It's beautiful. So I think I'm gonna stick with my, oh, hold on. I forgot to add the bling to our card. So let's add that real quick. I'm using, these are the new 25 to 27 in color pearls, flat in color pearls. And I'm just gonna add a few of these right here just to add a little interest to the front of the card. There we go. Beautiful. What do you think? Do you like it? Okay. So now we're gonna keep with, I think we're gonna stay with the real red. And then maybe use this one and this one. I'm really liking the secrecy for the cards. So I'm going to take an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. Oh, I have all these over here, all this scraps over here too. Hold on. I'm going to bring these over so we can just thumb through them. Okay. So I'm taking an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I'm just over here on the side, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. so that when I cut, I'll have 2 card bases and I only have to score once. I'm using my scoreboard, and I'm gonna cut this down to 5.5. So we'll have 2 card bases. So you get 2 cards out of 1 sheet of cardstock. Then I'm going to fold this over with my bone folder. I'm going to cut another, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut another piece of, actually I'm going to cut this in half, and I'm going to cut it down because I want a base piece. I'm going to cut it down to 4 1/4, nope, yes, 4 1/4, nope, sorry, 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to cut this piece off. So we're going to go 4 by 5 1/4. And that's the measurement for your first base layer. That gives you an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. So it'll give you that 1/8 of an inch border. I don't know if you can see that, but it gives you that border around your card base. Okay. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Cut and Emboss, and we're going to emboss this panel that we just cut. I'm going to do it this way so you can see. Move this out of the way. I have a very small work surface here. Okay, I'm going to grab this embossing folder, and I like to take my cardstock. Stampin' Up! Gives you a line right here at the bottom on your embossing folders that you can line your cardstock up on, and that way you know that your cardstock is straight. I started to say level, but you know your cardstock's straight. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to run this through our machine. Let's set this aside. And then we'll put this right on our card front here. Let me zoom back in for you. Okay. Then I'm going to, oh, that's so pretty. Do I want to use that, or do I want to use this one? I'm kind of liking the green. So I'm going to cut this down to 4 inches. I'm going to leave it the width, but I'm going to cut it down to 4 inches. This piece of cardstock is 3 1/8, and we'll cut it 3 1/8 by 4. Actually, I think I'm going to go 4 1/4. Yes. Then, can we come in with a strip of the blue? I think I'm going to use Let's do this. I'm going to cut two 1-inch strips out of this blue. Or let's do 1/2 inch. Yeah. That doesn't look right. Okay, I'm gonna just cut these again. That's 3/4 inches. I like the size of that better. So we're gonna do 2 3/4 inches. I'm gonna grab my banner punch, and I want to punch out the ends. Okay. Then I think I want them to lay over like this. Maybe I'll just do one. All right, so this is what size? 4 1/4. So I'm gonna cut this down to 4 1/2. Just so it hangs over just a little bit. Okay, I think we have all of our layer pieces. Do our 2 pieces there, and then or add that. This is the creative process at work, y'all. Okay, I know I like that, so I'm going to go ahead and glue the green designer series paper down. Add my glue. And I just want to cover this center of this wreath part. And I'm going over to the right of my panel just a little bit so that this larger embossed image on the side shows. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this part down. And I want that green just to peek out on the left side there. Then what if we did something like this across the front? And then added our label. I'm going to cut a label out of Secrecy cardstock. And then I need to cut a white label. Well, I'm looking for a piece of Secrecy cardstock over here. And then I have our little label here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just over here off to the side, I'm going to use the traditional labels, and I'm going to use this label here and just cut out our label. And I'll show you what I was talking about with the little edges on the labels. I use a little spatula just to get under the edge and pull mine up so that I don't tear anything. You can see how they would get stuck. All right. I think just for a hint of bling, I think I'm going to go ahead and cut that. So we're going to cut it down to 4 inches. And I want most of the blue in the pattern to show, so I'm going to cut that red, most of that red flower off. So it's going to go all the way across the front of the cardstock. You could do it this way too. You could use this pattern, but I want some of the gold pieces to show. I'm going to turn that. And then we'll put this like this and this like so. And then we can add it to our card front and it will just be easy. Simple, easy. What I want to do is I want to grab my Merry and Bright. Here it is. I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna stamp Merry in I'm going to start with the and bright because I'm going to stamp from the bottom up on the label just to make sure that I have everything where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to do the and bright stamp in Secret C. And I'm going to start in the center of the label towards the bottom, like so. I've been sticking my thumb in my ink pads all morning. Does anybody else do that? And I'm going to grab my Merry and ink it up in red. And stamp that right there. And I don't like that. Wouldn't you know it? Okay, hold on, I'm going to clean this real quick. And then I'll have to grab another label. I'm going to move this one down on my block some. Okay, so I'm going to cut another little label just over to the side here. I'm going to cut another label out. And I think instead of the round one, I think I'm going to use the little rectangle one. Let's see what that looks like. You're going to hear me cranking. And there's our pretty label. Let's see if we can get this to fit on here. Okay, so let's start with the And Bright right there. And then we'll grab our Mary. Ink that up good. And then right there. That works. Okay. And then we'll just layer it right here. So do we want to go flat with the big label and then pop the little label up? No. I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of our little label. We're going to adhere it to this Secret C, the larger Secret C label right in the center. Then I'm going to use some dimensionals. Whoops. Like so. We'll pop that up on our card front piece. And then go ahead and glue that piece down. Just like so. This is really a cute, I love this set. Do we want to add a flower or just leave it? Nope, I like it simple, just like it is. Then I'm gonna grab, let me see, I think I have another pack of these. I do. And I'm gonna use the Secret C color again. Hi, Linda. It's good to have you with me this morning. I'm going to add, we're going to do just a few here. And I think I want to do the middle larger one down here. Then I will cut a piece of white cardstock to 4 by 5 1/4, and we'll line the inside of our card. And that will be our 2 cards for today. And if you'll come back on Thursday at 3 o'clock, we'll finish up, we'll do our other 2 cards for the week. And you can let me know what you think about the cards. If you are interested in the creative kit, the Traditions of Christmas creative kit, I will add a link to the registration in the video below. Or you can go to my Facebook page at Stampin Inc. and the registration link is there on my Facebook page as well. So we're going to cut this inside of the card to 4 by 5 1/4. We'll grab some pretty pretty cardstock to line the bottom of our paper. Let's see. I'm just going to cut a piece of this since I already have it here. I'll cut this down to 3/4 of an inch, and it's already cut down to 4, so we're going to do 3/4 of an inch. And we'll add this to the inside of our card base. And I know it looks like I'm using a lot of glue, but my lines are not that, the lines of glue are not really that thick. Oh, don't put it in upside down, Jana. All right, so there's card 1 and card 2. Those are our cards for today. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you please leave me a comment if you're watching the replay. Comment and let me know that you watched the replay. I would love to have you come back on Thursday and join me on Thursday. Thursday I go live at 3 p.m. So I do 2 classes a week. We do Tuesday at 10, and we usually have some coffee and chit chat, and then Thursdays at 3. Okay, so if you enjoyed the projects, please give me a thumbs up, like it, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Happy stamping. Bye.